I wanted to add a couple more notes about buffer stock. So we've talked about buffer stock, and we primarily have talked about FBA buffer stock. We also have what's called warehouse buffer stock. And warehouse buffer stock is what should you be ordering and keeping at your warehouse at all times. So some people like to keep a cushion at their warehouse at all times. So let's say our buffer stock, we wanted to start keeping 1,500 units of this product at our warehouse at all times. What you'll start to see is that you'll see that we are recommending an order so that you fulfill your warehouse buffer stock. And once you get that buffer stock up to that proper amount, future orders will allow that you always keep that buffer in stock. So anytime you need to reorder, we will always keep that in stock. That gives you that extra cushion that you can transfer over. But you will have an extra cushion in case you need to ship it over to FBA, but we will always ask you to replenish the buffer stock by your default lead time. Now, we'll never ask you to replenish the buffer stock by your express orders. So I'm going to just touch briefly on express orders. If you have to send something by air, there is a specific way that buffer stock works with express lead times. So an express lead time, in short, is the fastest way that you can send inventory so that you don't run out of stock in an emergency. You have a default lead time, which is your standard way of shipping. So it could be, shipping by air, or I'm sorry, shipping by sea, right? So you've got a shipping by sea lead time that ends up taking 62 days. And then you've got an express lead time shipping by air. And those work together to tell you if you're ever at risk of running out, of stocking out, you will be told to send an express shipment and how much to send by express shipment. Now, when you're being told to send an express shipment, your buffer stock plays into this. This is the reason I bring this up. Your buffer stock will play into your express orders, so you will be told to replenish your buffer stock as well. And that's because it would really be awful to spend all this money and pay for an express shipment only to then run out because you didn't have that extra cushion and you had something go wrong on your ocean freight. And so you spent all this money on an express shipment and you ran out of inventory anyway. So the buffer stock will always be added to your express order, and the warehouse buffer stock will always be added to your default lead time order. So if you can see, we're being told to order 800. If you had 0 buffer stock in your warehouse, that order would change to 300. So your buffer stock is always added to the default lead time, and your FBA buffer stock is always added to the express lead time, if any. So you can see here it's 174. If we remove this and put 0 FBA buffer stock, it then goes to 54. So you can see how the buffer stock and the FBA buffer stock and the warehouse buffer stock both have a relation to what you're being told to express order. And finally, if you're having any confusions in terms of what numbers are being shown in your order, you can click on this calculator and you can locate. You're being told to replenish your FBA buffer stock there, and you're being told to replenish your warehouse buffer stock there. And that's the long and short of buffer stock. That's how buffer stock works within your system, how it works with your lead times, and how it works with your order recommendations.